Hey everyone, it's JJ, and I want to go over something real quick for you in the members website. So let's log in there real fast, go to the program. And what we're going to go over is a component of the nutrition plan under MyFitnessPal. So we have MyFitnessPal, and we're going to keep track of the calories, proteins, carbs, and fats utilizing MyFitnessPal. But MyFitnessPal is going to give you a daily number, for example, calories in a day, proteins in a day, carbohydrates, fats. But I want you to pay attention to a week because your body's not going to change that much in a day. But we focus on the day, but I want you to keep track of the week. So you get your numbers from MyFitnessPal to create your goals, and then day by day you fill in the forms to see if you're on track or off track. Some days you might be over your carbs, some days you might be under your carbs for the day, but as long as you're averaging where you need to be for the week, we're good to go. So what you want to do is scroll down to monitor and measure, and I got 3 forms on here. You won't have to use all 3. You pick one that works best for you. We have a manual form, a Google form, and a turn-in form. So the manual form, very simple. It's just a PDF. You print that out, and this is all you get. You just print it out, throw it on your refrigerator, throw it in a binder, and you're good to go. The first thing you want to do with the form is go down and get your goal numbers. Now these are your goal numbers for the week. So calories, proteins, carbs, and fats. You can go to MyFitnessPal if it's set up for you, and it will tell you how many calories you should have, protein, carbs, and fats. Just times that number by 7, and that gives you your weekly allotment or your weekly goal. So if your calorie goal is 1,500 calories in MyFitnessPal a day, 1,500 times 7, that's what you put there. Do the same thing with protein, carbs, and fats, which are going to be in grams. And then as you complete each day in MyFitnessPal, at the bottom of the page on MyFitnessPal, you have your totals. You just plug your numbers in here, write them straight across. Do the same thing for each of the 7 days, and at the end you'll have your total. So you take your totals from here, plug them down into your actuals, and then you plus or minus so we can see if you're over your calories, proteins, carbs, and fats, and see where we need to make adjustments. So I know you won't have a perfect day each time. So let's say one day, for example, carbohydrates, you should be having 125 grams of carbs. This day you do 200 grams. This day you do 100. Days will fluctuate up and down between the week. So as long as at the end of the week we're meeting our target goals, we're pretty good to go. Okay, so it's a very simple form. Print it out. If you're a visual person, it's good to see where you are. You can quickly do math in your head. If you know if your total carbs is 1,000 grams, for example, you can see where you are, 2, 3, 4. You can add them up in your head. Okay, so that's that part. The other form, if you would rather use a Google form, this is the Google Excel spreadsheet. So you just go to here, and there'll be a link to a Google page. It's going to be the same format. So this is just taking you to a Google spreadsheet. The only difference with this would be it's going to auto-calculate some things. So let's say your goals, you do your goals, and I have it at 800 calories, 800 grams. It just changes so you can see stuff. I'm just randomly throwing numbers in here that makes no sense, but you will see. So you will get these numbers by actually doing real math. You take your daily MyFitnessPal calories times 7, and therefore. So you have those numbers. And then what you want to do is at the end of each day, you plug in everything you had. Okay, and let's just do one more day too. Yeah, these numbers make no sense, but that's all right. So as you fill in your numbers here from each day, you can go down to the actuals, and you'll see that it's actually going to self-populate itself, so you won't have to do any of the math. And the bank, this is how many calories you have left for the week. So you can see, according to my crazy math, I have 4,000 more calories for the week, 287 grams of protein left, 307 carbs, 211 grams of fats. So as you fill in each day, you have a running tally of exactly how much you need to eat and how much is left. So if you're going over in carbs, hey, I need to calm down the carbs. I need to do a little more carb-free options. If you have in the event you want to plan out, let's say you're having a pasta party or you want some pasta for dinner on Thursday, you want to be a little bit under your carbs for the week, and then so you can stock up and have a good carb meal. That is how that works. Okay. And the last form. So these two forms you use to keep track of the week for yourself, whatever makes sense for you. And then my FitnessPal weekly turn-in form. This is the one you send to me. You can open the link up and save it, or you can just come right here and fill it out. You just take those numbers that you have from those other two forms, put your name, what month, and what day it started. So if you started on Monday, you pick August 13th. That's the Monday I started. And these are your actual numbers. So weekly calories, protein, carbs, and fat, your weekly numbers. And then just a simple thing, are you at your goal, under your goal, or over your goal? And I have plus or minus 100 calories. So if you're perfectly on your goal within 200 calories under or over, you're on target. If you're under 100 calories, you hit under. And you do the same thing with proteins, carbs, and fats, which I have set at plus or minus 10 grams. Once you fill that out, any notes, observations, successes, challenges, any questions for me, do there, hit submit, and we are in business. So that is how we're keeping track of the weekly macronutrients using my FitnessPal. Any questions, give me a call, give me a shout out, and I will talk to you soon.